Hello everyone, my name is Lucky, a mathematics enthusiast, giving you a special welcome to Prince Maths Clinic. It's nice to have you in class today. In today's class, we will be factorizing this cubic equation without using alpha, beta, and gamma like we did in the previous class. So let's go into the solution. Now, number one says that now the first thing we will do is to test values of x that will give us 0. So we are going to try 1. So if x is equals to 1, let us see what it will be. Therefore, our f of x, that is everywhere we see x here, we are going to put 1. 1 raised to power 3 will give us 1. 1 to the power of 2 will give us 1 times 9, that is 9. Then 1 times 26 will give us 26. Then you have negative 24. Now, obviously, 1 minus 9 is minus 8, plus 26 minus 24 cannot give us 0. Now, let us also try if x is negative 1. So f of minus 1, what will it give us? Let's find out. If you put negative 1 here, you are going to get this as minus 1. Then negative 1 times negative 1 will give us positive 1. Times minus 9 will be minus 9. Then negative 1 times 26 will give us minus 26. Then minus 24. Obviously, this again will not give us 0. So let us try 2. If x is equals to 2, therefore f of 2, let's see what it will be. Let us put 2 into 3 places. It's 2 times 2 times 2, which is 8. Then 2 squared is 4. 4 times minus 9 is minus 36. Then 2 times 26 will give us positive 52. Then minus 24. So if you do 8 minus 36, you get negative 28. Now, negative 28 plus 52 will give us 24. And 24 minus 24 will give us what? 0. So it then means that it is when x is 2 that we are going to get this to be 0. So now that we have known that x, the right value for x is 2, here is the trick. So if x is equals to 2, it means that x minus 2 will be one of the factors. Then the other factor will be a quadratic factor. Because remember, the highest power here is 3. But we have 3 factors. So the remaining, this linear factor, we have to multiply a quadratic factor for us to get this particular cubic equation. So this is what since x is 2, I'm going to do this. So follow carefully. So the coefficient of x here is 1. I'm going to write down 1. The coefficient of x here is minus 9. I'm going to write it down. Coefficient of x here is positive 26. I'll write it down. Then here is negative 24. That means the constant there. So this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to bring down this 1 to this point. So I'm going to use this 2 to multiply this 1. 2 times 1 will give us 2. Then minus 9 plus 2 will give me negative 7. Then I will use the same 2, multiply this negative 7. So what will I get? I will get negative 14. So let us add 26 plus minus 14. I'm going to get 12, positive 12. So take this 2 again, multiply this 12. what would you get? You get what? 24. 2 times 12 gives you 24. So that when you add up this place, you get a 0. Now that we've gotten a 0, you must always get this last part to be 0. If it's not 0, then you are wrong. Then I can generate my quadratic equation. It means that the coefficient of my quadratic equation here is 1. So this becomes x squared. Then minus 7 here means minus 7x, then plus constant of 12. That is the other quadratic function I told you we are going to obtain here. So I can factorize this. And to factorize this is very simple. Follow. Now, just say 12 to multiply 1. The coefficient here. 12 times 1 gives you what? 12. And here you have minus 7. So I need two numbers that I will multiply to give me 12. That when I add them together, I'm going to get minus 7. So first of all, I'll write this as x. I'll put this as x. So what are those two numbers I will multiply? That when I add them up, I will get minus 7. The numbers are simply minus 3 and minus 4. So if you multiply minus 3 with minus 4, you get positive 12. And when you add minus 3 to minus 4, you get negative 7. So my result here becomes minus 3 and minus 4. Therefore, that means that if I factorize this, x to the power of 3 minus 9x squared plus 26x minus 24, it is the same thing as, remember the first factor is x minus 2. The second one is x minus 3. Then the last one is x minus 4. All equals to 0. So that means that the values of x here is 2, 3, and 4. And I can bet you that if you put value of x, which we have tried, we got 0. If you put 3, you also get 0. If you put 4, here you also get 0. So that makes it a cubic equation having 3 values of x. Now kindly subscribe to this channel if you've not done so, and click on the notification icon so that you can get to see more videos as we drop them on this channel. Now the second question says that 2x squared, the job again is to find out the factors. So I will test again. So I'm going to test if x is equals to 1. Now there's no need wasting my time. X equal to 1 will never give me 0. X equals to minus 1 will never also give me 0. So let me try 2. And I know 2 will also not give me 0. So in order to save our time, let's just go to minus 2. So 2, then if I put minus 2 here, minus 2 in 3 places becomes minus 8. Times 2 become minus 16. Then minus 2 squared here gives us what? 4. 4 times 9 is 36. Then minus 2 here gives us what? Minus 14. Then minus 6. Will it be equals to 0? I think so. Because minus 16 plus 36 is what? 20. 20 minus 14 is 6. And 6 minus 6 gives us what? 0. Good. So that means that the value of x is what? Is minus 2. So I am going to use that minus 2 now to perform our magic. You have 2. The next one you have positive 9. The next one you have positive 7. And lastly you have what? Negative 6. Then of course you know the first column you leave it. Then you transfer this 2 down, so that when you say minus 2 times 2, you get minus 4. That minus 4 occupies here. Then 9 minus 4 gives you what? 5. Use this minus 2, multiply this. This gives us what? Negative 10. You put the negative 10 here. Then 7 minus 10 gives you what? Negative 3. So that when you take minus 2, multiply negative 3, you get positive 6. So minus 6 plus 6 gives you what? 0. Remember I told you, you always get 0. Yeah, if you don't get 0, then you are wrong. Therefore, now, remember my factors. The first factor is x. If this comes here, this is plus 2. Then the other factor will be a quadratic factor. Now, the leading coefficient of that quadratic factor is 2. So this is 2x to the power of 2. Then positive 5x. Then minus 3. Of course, you know that the coefficients, the powers of x ranges from 2, 1, and 0. X to the power of 0 gives you 1. 1 times 3 gives you 3. Right? So, this is the second factor of this. So, we can now factorize this by putting 2 brackets. Remember the pattern. You take this negative 3, you multiply 2, you will get negative 6. But first of all, write down x here, write down x here. Then you have positive 5. 2 numbers I will multiply that will give me minus 6. And when I add them, I will get positive 5. They are simply what? 6 and negative 1. Mind you, 6 times minus 1 gives me minus 6. Then if I say 6 minus 1, I will get positive 5. So I will now put what? Positive 6 and negative 1. But in this case, we have a coefficient of 2 in the leading value here of x squared. So I'm going to divide this part of this linear equation by 2 and this part by 2. Therefore, I know 2 can go in 6 3 times. So this will become x plus 3. Now, since 2 cannot go in 1, I'll just cross multiply. 2 times x becomes what? 2x. Then if I multiply 2 times half, I will get what? 1. So it then means that this can be broken down into what? 2x to the power of 3 plus 9x to the power of 2 plus 7x minus 6 is the same thing as the first factor, which is x plus 2. Then the next factor is x plus 3. Then the other one is what? 2x minus 1, all equal to 0. Now, that means that if I put the value of x to a minus 2, like we did here, you will get 0. If you put x with minus 3 in this equation, you will get 0. Then if you put x to be 1 over 2 in this equation as well, you are going to obtain 0. Right? Good. And remember, you can also use the formula introduced to you in the previous class, which is alpha plus beta plus gamma, which is negative b over a, and the likes, to obtain the same result. Right? But I consider this easy for those of us that may not be able to use alpha plus beta plus gamma. Now,